Let us continue. Halo arrays boiling point and melting point. Now we will consider dichlorobenzene. Dichlorobenzene we will consider. In the dichlorobenzene we will consider orthoform. For this boiling point is 453 Kelvin. Boiling point is how much in the sense 453 Kelvin. For meta the boiling point is 446 Kelvin. 446 Kelvin. For para the boiling point is 448 Kelvin. So boiling points are like this is there, meta and para almost the same, it is there. So even ortho meta para difference is very low. So how the melting point is there? Melting point of ortho is 256 Kelvin, meta is 249 Kelvin, para is 323 Kelvin. So melting point, if you say ortho and meta difference is not much, but para is having somewhat higher value. Why para is having somewhat higher value means para is symmetric. Symmetric in the sense close packing extent will be high. Close packing extent will be high. Close packing extent will be high. Therefore, melting point will be high. So melting point depends on extent of close packing. Okay. So para is symmetric. Therefore, extent of close packing is high. Therefore, it is having higher melting point. Okay. Then these alkyl halides and aryl halides are soluble in the organic solvents, insoluble in water. Okay. Then we will see the chemical properties. We will see. Okay. Now we will take ethyl bromide. We will take ethyl bromide. This ethyl bromide we will treat with potassium hydroxide aqueous solution. Potassium hydroxide aqueous solution. We are getting what in the sense ethanol we are getting. Then we are getting KBr. Okay. This chemical properties we have taken halide we have taken, we have treated this with aqueous solution of potassium hydroxide, we are getting ethanol and potassium bromide. Said what is the mechanism involved in this one, that we will see. Mechanism involved in this one. Okay, ethyl bromide we will take now. We will take ethyl bromide. Now here hydrogen, here CH3. Ethyl bromide we have taken. In the potassium hydroxide, we will take hydroxide. We will take in the potassium hydroxide. We have taken hydroxide. Sorry. Now what happens in the sense? This hydroxide is attacking this carbon. This bond is migrating. Okay, carbon is electrophilic center. Oxygen is nucleophile. So donating electron cloud like this happening. Therefore, what happens means this HO is making a bond. The hydrogen atoms are coming like this, and Br minus is leaving. Okay, so Br minus is the leaving group. Br minus is the leaving group, and OH minus is the nucleophile, and this C is electrophilic center. So this nucleophile replacing this leaving group. This Br minus is replaced by OH minus. Therefore, it is called a substitution reaction. It is what substitution means. Br minus is replaced by nucleophile. Therefore, it is called a nucleophilic substitution reaction. Okay, it is nucleophilic substitution reaction. SN reaction we can say. This is nucleophilic substitution reaction. What reaction in the sense? SN reaction. In this one, what is the substrate? Ethyl bromide. What is the nucleophile? OH minus. What is the leaving group? Br minus. Okay. So it is coming under nucleophilic substitution reaction. Here nucleophile is OH minus, leaving group is Br minus. Set. Now, in the nucleophilic substitution reaction, what is the order of this reaction? What is the molecularity of this reaction? That we will see. Okay. Now we will consider methyl chloride. It is treated with what in the sense OH minus. Temperature provided is 60 degrees Celsius, and water is given. Now what we are getting in the sense CH3OH and Cl minus we are getting. So that means what is the leaving group in this reaction? Cl minus is the leaving group. What is the nucleophile? OH minus is the nucleophile. So now what is the mechanism involved in this reaction? That we will see. Mechanism will see. This carbon I will take, this Cl I will take, here one hydrogen I will take. Here this hydrogen is present rear of this plane, this hydrogen is projecting towards us. This carbon is tetrahedral. These two bonds present in one plane. This bond is rear to the plane. This bond is projecting towards us. Okay. Then we'll take the nucleophile OH minus. We'll take the nucleophile OH minus. Okay. This OH minus is attacking this this carbon. This O is attacking this carbon. What happens means this bond is migrating towards this side. Okay. So what will happen? That we'll see. This Cl minus is leaving. This OH is making bond with the carbon. This OH is making bond with carbon. These three hydrogens coming this side. Those three hydrogens coming this side. Those three hydrogens came this side. So we got like this. Sir. Now in this one, the Cl minus is replaced by OH minus. Therefore, it is called a nucleophilic substitution reaction. That we can say. Okay. This is called what in the sense? A nucleophilic substitution reaction. Sir. Now, how this reaction takes place? That we will see. Here, this carbon and chlorine, they have different electronegativity. Therefore, here partial negative charge, here partial positive charge, partial positive, partial negative. Because of this polarity, here this carbon is electrophilic center, so this oxygen is attacking. When oxygen is attacking, in the sense oxygen is contributing its electron cloud for making bond. When oxygen is making bond, what will happen regarding this? This bond is migrating towards Cl. When oxygen is making bond continuously, this bond is continuously moving towards Cl. That means this bond formation and bond breaking both take place continuously and simultaneously to the same extent. Okay. Therefore, how what will happen? We'll see. This OH will take. That OH we are taking. This C we will take. This Cl we will take. This Cl we will take. These three hydrogen atoms will take. One nitrogen we have given here. One nitrogen we have given here. One nitrogen we have given here. Okay. So now you see that this oxygen is making bond with this carbon. Is making bond with this carbon. While this bond is shifting towards chlorine. Shifting towards chlorine. So to what extent bond is formed between this oxygen and carbon? To that extent this bond is breaking. Okay. So here bond breaking, here bond formation. Bond formation and bond breaking takes place to same extent taking place. To what extent here bond is formed? To that extent bond is breaking here. Okay. Now we will consider here it is making partial bond with the carbon. Partial bond is produced. That means this oxygen is losing partial electron cloud. Therefore, this -1 becomes partial negative charge. This bond is partially shifting towards chlorine. Therefore, partial negative charge we will say. Okay. Then this bond is producing completely. Yes, produced completely. This bond is broken completely. It is detached. Okay. Therefore, this is what in the sense transition state we can say. This transition state says that here bond formation and here bond breaking takes place continuously and to the same extent it says. Okay, sir. Now, when oxygen is forming a bond, this bond is breaking while these three hydrogens and this carbon comes in a plane which is perpendicular to this line, which is perpendicular to this bond formation and this bond breaking. Okay, these three hydrogens and this carbon is in one plane in the transition state, which is perpendicular to this bond formation and this bond breaking. That is about this transition state. That means this transition state is just like trigonal bipyramid. It is just like trigonal bipyramid. Sir, okay. Now, rate of this reaction depend on which concentrations, that we will say. From that we can say what in the sense order of reaction we can say. Okay. So now rate of reaction is directly proportional to which concentration. Rate of reaction is directly proportional to which concentration we'll see. For which this reaction takes place in what way, that we'll see. This reaction takes place in what way? Experimental analysis says what in the sense When oxygen is making bond with carbon, simultaneously this carbon chlorine bond is breaking. Therefore, the rate of this reaction depends on this reactant concentration as well as this nucleophile concentration. So rate of reaction depends on CH3Cl as well as nucleophile. Power is what? Power is 1 year, power is 1 year. How do we say power is 1? Because it is a what in the sense elementary step. It is elementary step. Elementary step means what? Single step. Single step process is called elementary step process, we can say. It is a single step process. It is not complex step. It is not complex reaction. Why it is not complex reaction? Because this reaction is not involving many steps. This reaction is involving only one step. How do we say only one step? Because when oxygen is making bond with carbon continuously and simultaneously, carbon chlorine bond is breaking. To what extent this oxygen is making bond with carbon? To that extent carbon chlorine bond is breaking. Therefore, this step is single step. Therefore, it is called elementary step. If for the elementary step, rate of reaction depend on concentration of these two, and what is the power means coefficients. Their coefficients is the power. Therefore, power is 1 1. So rate of reaction is like this. Rate of reaction depends on this concentration to the power 1, this concentration to the power 1. Sum of the powers is equal to order of this reaction. So what is the order of this reaction in the sense second order? This reaction is second order, that too we will write it. Therefore, this reaction is what in the sense SN2 reaction. Set. SN2 reaction in the sense the order of reaction is 2, second order. Set. Then what is the molecularity of the reaction? Molecularity is for elementary step only. Elementary step means single step. It is single step. Therefore, it is elementary reaction. In this elementary reaction, how many species are involving? Two species are involving. Therefore, what is the molecularity? 2. Therefore, this is bimolecular reaction. Set. It is SN2, and we said bimolecular reaction. For this reaction, rate of reaction depend on concentration of this substrate and concentration of nucleophile to the power 1, we said. Okay. Next, you see that here leaving group on right side. These three hydrogens left side. Nucleophile is attacking this electrophilic center exactly opposite to this leaving group. Okay. These three are similar species, therefore exactly opposite. If these three are different, then angle will be somewhat varying because of steric hindrance. Okay. So this O is attacking at the back of this carbon with this bond, with respect to this bond. While what happens? These three hydrogens which is in left side moving towards this side and coming to one plane. One plane. These three hydrogens and carbon coming to one plane. Then afterwards the product is formed in which oxygen is making bond with carbon. These three hydrogens comes towards right side, Now see the reactant. This carbon is at center. In the product also carbon is at center. These three hydrogens left side. Now these three hydrogens right side. Leaving group opposite side nucleophile has made a bond. Leaving group opposite side nucleophile has made a bond. Okay. Therefore, we can say this configuration is inverted. Actually, here if these three groups are different, if this carbon is optically active, then we can say configuration is inverted, we can say. Then it is called configuration is inverted, we are saying. For that, we will take an example and we will say how the configuration is inverted, that we will say. Okay, because here it is not optically active carbon. Therefore, we cannot say how to inversion of configuration, we cannot say using this example. So we will take another example. Now we will take here carbon, here leaving group is Br, here it is CH3. These two bonds present in a plane of this screen. Then this bond is rear to this screen, This bond is projecting towards you. That is this we have written like this. Okay. Now, what is the name of this compound? This compound name is 2-bromo octane. This compound name is 2-bromo octane. Sir. this 2 bromooctane, this carbon, if you see, this carbon is having 4 different groups, therefore it is optically active. Optically active in the sense either dextro or levo. It is coming under which category? In the sense it is coming under levo category. It is obtained this levo or dextro, how to say? In the sense experimentally we have to say using polarimeter instrument. So this compound is levo. Okay. Next, R and S configuration is there. RS nomenclature is there. How to say RS nomenclature? How to say RS nomenclature? Okay. How to say RS nomenclature? That point we will see. Okay. Whether this is a R configuration or S configuration, how to say? Okay. So to say R configuration or S configuration, what we have to do? What we have to do in the sense bring parent chain vertical. Bring parent chain vertical. Okay, we have to bring parent chain vertical. That means CH3 like this, optically active carbon, this C6H3 H30 like this. Parent chain we brought vertical. Then this is optically active carbon. For this side one bond, this side one bond we are giving. This HBr, how to write? In the sense one possibility is like this. Another possibility, what? In the sense Br this side, H this side. Like this we can write. Okay. So two possibilities are there. We have taken one possibility, we have taken. So now how these two bonds will be present and how these two bonds will be present, that we will see. This carbon will take it as center. This carbon will take it as center point. These two bonds we will take it as in what way? In the sense for that case, this carbon will take it as center point in the screen. These two bonds we have to consider as a V shape, and that V shape projecting down of this carbon and that down of this screen, like that you have to consider. Okay, down of this screen. Then these two bonds, how it is there? In the sense these two bonds present like a V shape, present above the screen, this carbon above the screen, these two bonds like this only we have to consider this molecule. And we have to press them. We have to press it. If you press it, what will happen means you will get a flat shape, two-dimensional you will get. Okay, so we have written three-dimensional in a flat shape, two-dimensional we have written. Actually three-dimensional molecule is written in two-dimensional molecule. It is called Fischer projection. Fischer projection in the sense writing three-dimensional in a two-dimensional. Okay. So for this Fischer projection, what you have to do? You have to bring parent chain in a vertical. Okay. This is optically active carbon. These two groups we have given like this. Okay. We have taken wantedly these two groups like this. Br right side, hydrogen left side. We have taken wantedly. Sir. Then what you have to do means you have to give the priority for this. Priority in the sense higher the atomic number, higher the priority. Okay. So bromine is having higher atomic number out of them. Therefore, bromine is given first priority. Okay. Here, second priority for carbon, because carbon is having next lower atomic number. Okay. Carbon atomic number is 6. Therefore, for carbon, second priority we have to give here this for this carbon. Now, how to give priority? In the sense here two carbons are there. It is one carbon, it is one carbon is there. Here one carbon, here one carbon is there. For which we have to give second priority, for which we have to give third priority, we have to see. Now, this carbon, this C6H13 in the sense, how it is there? Now, CH3 is there like this. C6H13 is there like this. C6H13 is there like this. Okay. C6H13. Now, here carbon is there, here also carbon is there. Both are having same atomic number. While you go to next atom, here next atom is hydrogen, but here next atom is carbon. So since it is having higher atomic number than this, for this group higher priority. So here higher priority second, here third priority, it is fourth priority. Okay. So priority we have given. Now what is which one is the least priority? Means this one is the least priority. Bring least priority group to this place. Bring least priority group to this place. Okay. Sir, how to bring least priority group to this place? For which you fix any one group any one group constant. Okay, which group we will fix constant in the sense, let us fix this group constant, and we will rotate remaining groups. Okay, we will rotate like this. Why we are rotating like this? In the sense, we want to bring the least priority group to down. Okay, so to bring least priority group to down, you rotate the three species. One species you keep as constant. Okay, so we brought hydrogen here, C6H13 here, Br here, CH3 here. Okay, now we will give priority order. It is first priority, it is second priority, it is third priority. Okay, now we will see, we will go from first priority to second priority, second to third. This is what in the sense anti-clockwise. This is anti-clockwise in the sense sinister form. Anti-clockwise in the sense sinister form. Clockwise in the sense rectus form. Clockwise in the sense rectus form. Okay. So now we will interchange H and Br now. H and Br we will interchange. What we will get, we will see. One is sinister form we got. One we got a sinister form. Now we will go for a R form. We will go H and Br. We will interchange it. Here Br will write. Here CH3, C6H13. Here H. Okay. So now like this is there. Now least priority group we have to bring down. So rotate like this. You keep this as constant. Okay. So CH3 is kept constant. Hydrogen is here. C6H13 here. Br here. It is first priority, second priority, third priority. Now you rotate. Go from first priority to second priority, second to third. It is clockwise rotation. Therefore, it is a rectus configuration. This is what in the sense rectus configuration we can say. Okay. So this is a rectus configuration we got. Okay. Now we will see, this is coming under rectus configuration or sinister configuration. How do we know it? It is a rectus or sinister. How to know it? That we will see. For which what we will do in the sense, these two bonds present in a plane of what in the sense screen. This bond is projecting down. This is projecting rear. This is projecting up. Okay. Therefore, this is projecting towards us. It is projecting to projecting rear. Now, shall we consider this is like a V shape? And this V shape shall we consider down? Shall we consider down? Shall we consider? Then we can say down in the sense we can write this as what in the sense H C C6 H13. Like this we will take. Okay. This is a HC C6H13, like this we have taken. It is V shape. In this V shape, it is projecting up with respect to carbon. We will take CH3 left, Br is right. We will take. Then we can write CH3 here and Br is here. Okay. So now what we have to do means, this is a parent chain. Parent chain we have to bring vertical. Okay. So CH3 should go here. Therefore, we have to rotate. So fix this. Now we will rotate. We will rotate like this. Okay. So we have rotated like this. Therefore, we got a C6H13. We have fixed. Hydrogen comes here. Then bromine goes here. CH3 goes here. So least priority group you have to bring here. Okay. Least priority group you have to bring here. So we will fix this. Hydrogen goes. C6H13 goes. Br goes like this. Therefore, we will get hydrogen here, C6H13 here, Br here, CH3 here. Okay. Now we will give priority order. It is first priority, second priority, third priority. From here to here, first to second, second to third, clockwise. Therefore, rectus. Therefore, we can say it is rectus configuration. Okay. This is what configuration in the sense rectus configuration we have taken. Sorry. So we got a rectus configuration that we will take. So now see, it is Br, it is CH3. This bond is projecting towards the rear. This bond is projecting towards us. Towards us. This is what in the sense rectus configuration, levo rotatory, 2 bromo octane, 2 bromo octane. Now we will take nucleophile. Nucleophile is what in the sense OH minus. Nucleophile is what in the sense? OH minus we have taken. Okay. So now this nucleophile is attacking. This nucleophilic oxygen is attacking this carbon. This bond is migrating. Okay. So we are considering SN2, bimolecular nucleophilic substitution reaction. Biomolecular nucleophilic substitution reaction means nucleophile should attack electrophilic center and leaving group should leave simultaneously. Okay. So nucleophile attacking, leaving group leaving, both should take place simultaneously to the same extent. Okay. So nucleophile makes partial bond with the electrophilic carbon. Carbon is leaving the leaving group partial extent. Okay, this is getting partial negative charge. It is getting partial negative charge. Here CH3 and here H, here C6H13. Now CH3, this carbon, this hydrogen, C6H13 present in one plane. Vertical left side OH, vertical right side Br. Okay, this is a transition state, unstable. Therefore, we can write like this: transition state we cannot isolate. Next, this Br is leaving completely. This OH is making bond completely. Now this CH3 going right side. This is a hydrogen. This is what in the sense C6H13. Okay. Now you say that this is what in the sense rectus configuration. What do you say regarding this? Here first priority Br. Here first priority is OH. Oxygen is having higher atomic number than carbon. Therefore, first priority is OH here. First priority is Br here. Regarding priority, no change. Now it is a rectus configuration. What about this? This is called a sinister configuration. Okay, it is called sinister configuration, and it is levorotatory, whereas it is a dextrorotatory. This is a 2-octanol. Okay, we got like this. Now see, R configuration is converted into S configuration. So inversion of configuration is getting inverted. R configuration is converted into S configuration. Okay, it is based on RS nomenclature. So since configuration is inverted, then this SN2 reaction is called a inversion reaction. This inversion is called a Walden inversion. This inversion we can call it as a Walden inversion we can call. Okay, sir. So in SN2 reaction, what are the points we have discussed? One is single step reaction. Here transition state is possible which cannot be isolated. Here nucleophile is making bond with the electrophilic carbon, leaving group is leaving, both process take place simultaneously and to the same extent. Then it is a for this molecule, it is single step, the molecularity is 2, therefore it is bimolecular reaction. And order of reaction is 2, order with respect to the substrate is 1, order with respect to this nucleophile is 1, therefore this reaction is a second order reaction. So rate of this reaction depend on this concentration to the power 1, this concentration to the power 1. Then this SN2 reaction comes under Walden inversion. That means configuration is getting inverted. Configuration of the substrate is getting inverted in the product. Okay, this is about this SN2 reaction. SN2 reaction in the sense bimolecular nucleophilic substitution reaction. Sir, now one example we will take for this SN2. For SN2 reaction, we will take one example. We have taken this cyclopentane. In this cyclopentane, here Cl, here H. Here CH3, here H. Now it is treated with OH minus nucleophile. Now it is taken for SN2. What is the product? What is the product that we will see? Now, in this cyclopentane, these 5 carbon atoms present in a plane of this screen. Then this chlorine and this hydrogen, these 2 bonds present in a V shape. This V shape is perpendicular to this cyclopentane. Perpendicular to this, perpendicular in the sense, not exactly perpendicular. This Cl will be above the screen, this hydrogen will be below the screen, like this. Otherwise, it is above means it is below, like that it will be there. Okay, sir. Now we will take This OH minus is attacking this carbon because it is electrophilic carbon. It is a leaving group. So how the attack will be there? Attack should lead towards SN2. SN2 we said. That means OH minus should attack this carbon. That means OH minus should be back of this Cl bond. Back of this Cl bond. Okay. Then only 180 degree. Like this it has to attack. Said. How that attack will be there? That we'll see. The cyclopentane we have given here CH3, here H. Now we will write H here. Cl is CCl bond partially broken. O and carbon bond partially formed. Here partial negative charge, here partial negative charge. Okay. So how it is there? You see that if you consider this carbon and hydrogen present in a plane of screen, then this carbon left side of screen, this carbon right side of screen, this Cl is above the screen, this OH is below the screen. That means these 5 bonds just like trigonal bipyramid, like this it is present. Okay. Next leaving group completely leaves. Leaving group is left. Therefore, what is remaining in the sense here CH3, here CH3, here H, here HOH, here H, here OH. Okay, like this compound you are getting. Now, this compound and this compound will see in this compound, this carbon is having for this carbon higher priority group is CH3. For this carbon higher priority group is Cl. Higher priority groups are on same side, therefore it is cis isomer. Higher priority groups are on same side, therefore cis isomer. Otherwise, here hydrogen, same groups on same side, therefore cis isomer. Okay. Then here hydrogen, opposite side, therefore trans isomer. Hydrogen, opposite side, therefore trans isomer. So cis isomer is converted into trans isomer in this SN2 reaction. Sir, next we will see now we will take a so and so cyclohexane. Here we will take halogen like this. It is cyclohexyl halide. Cyclohexyl halide we have taken. It is also cyclohexyl halide. Here this halogen present in equatorial position. This halogen present in axial position. This halogen present in axial position. Both are cyclohexyl halide. Cyclohexyl halide. Here halogen present in equatorial position. Here halogen present in axial position. Like this is there. Sir, how here nucleophilic substitution is there? That we will see. How nucleophilic substitution is possible. Okay. Here nucleophilic substitution reaction in the sense here nucleophile should attack like this. Here nucleophile should attack like this. In which case nucleophilic attack will be easier. In which case nucleophilic attack will be easier. That means nucleophilic attack will be easier here because difficult because this axial hydrogen will interact with this. But such a type of interaction is not there. Here axial hydrogen is here, axial hydrogen is here. They will not interact. Interaction is less. Therefore, nucleophile is easily attacking. Here somewhat less. Therefore, here less reaction. Here more reaction. So, like that we can say. Next we will see about neopentyl halides. In neopentyl halides, how the SN2 reaction will be there, that we will see. Neopentyl halides. Neopentyl halides in the sense carbon is quaternary carbon. Carbon is quaternary carbon. This carbon is quaternary carbon because this carbon is bonded with 4 other carbons. Therefore, it is quaternary carbon. Like this means it is neo, we can say neo. Now we want pentyl. Pentyl, therefore, will substitute here, carbon will substitute. Okay. This is what in the sense neopentyl we can say. Neopentyl halide. Neo we can say. Okay. So neopentyl halide we can take. Sorry. This neopentyl halide comes under primary halide. This neopentyl halide comes under primary halide, we can say, because this halogen is attached to the carbon which is primary carbon. Sorry, neopentyl halide we have taken. What about SN2 reaction here? SN2 reaction. SN2 reaction in the sense how SN2 reaction will be there here, that we will see. This primary carbon I will take. This is having 2 hydrogens and halogen. Halogen we have written. One hydrogen is here. This hydrogen is rear. Then this tertiary butyl. This tertiary butyl will be towards projecting towards us. Now nucleophile comes. Nucleophile is coming. This nucleophile is attacking. This nucleophile is attacking this carbon. This leaving group leaves. Now this nucleophile is getting more steric hindrance from this. This electron cloud is repelling this electron cloud, that is called steric hindrance. So here steric hindrance is there. Due to steric hindrance, because of this huge steric hindrance, nucleophile is unable to attack this electrophilic carbon. Therefore, SN2 reaction is difficult here. Therefore, neopentyl is difficult to undergo SN2 reaction. Okay, neopentyl is difficult to undergo SN2 reaction. That means how the SN2 reaction will be there. SN2 reaction, is it depending on type of halide? That we will see. The SN2 reaction, is it depending on type of halide? That point we'll see. Now we will take a primary halide. We will take. This is a methyl halide. Next we will take a primary halide. We will take. It is primary halide. Next we will take a secondary halide. We will take. It is secondary halide. Next we will take a tertiary halide. We are taking a tertiary halide. Okay, tertiary halide. It is methyl halide, primary halide. It is also primary halide. This is secondary halide. It is tertiary halide. It is neopentyl halide, but it is primary. Okay, like this is there. Now SN2 reaction in the sense nucleophile has to attack from back of a leaving group. Okay, nucleophile has to attack at the back of leaving group. Now these 3 hydrogens is having electron cloud. That electron cloud is repelling this nucleophile electron cloud. That repulsion is called steric hindrance. Now here R group is a bulky group that is repelling this. Therefore steric hindrance here is more than this. Here 2 R groups are there which causes more steric hindrance when compared to this. Here 3 R groups, therefore it is causing more steric hindrance with the nucleophile. What is steric hindrance? Steric hindrance means this electron cloud is repelling this electron cloud, that is called steric hindrance. So how the steric hindrance will be there means methyl halide will have less when compared to other primary halides, will be less when compared to secondary, will be less when compared to tertiary, will be less when compared to neopentyl. So steric hindrance like this is there means if steric hindrance is low, then only SN2 is possible. Therefore, what is the order of SN2 in the sense methyl halide will be greater than primary, greater than secondary, greater than tertiary, greater than neopentyl. So that how the SN2 is there means order of SN2 reaction will be like this. Methyl halide will be greater than primary, greater than secondary, greater than tertiary, greater than neopentyl. It is the order of SN2. So SN2 will be dominant in methyl halides. Okay, somewhat less in other primary, still less in secondary, still less in tertiary, still less in neopentyl. Therefore, order of